Good evening and welcome to the Immersive Experience, a podcast about you, for you, from you. And tonight we talk about the hidden empire. I am going to allow my guests to introduce themselves first, but if you are replaying this, I hope you enjoy what you're about to experience. And you can follow us on Instagram at the underscore immersive experience. And Mental, if you'd like to introduce yourself.
Mental, Overstanding Darkness on Facebook. Find my podcast, Spirituality and Natural Living. It's also one of my hashtags on Facebook. Overstanding Darkness on YouTube. Just an occult specialist, learning and living.
Absolutely. Drill, Mr.
Uh,
Accountability.
J Rail on Facebook. I'm here, support, learn something, give a little knowledge back as well. I'm here anytime I could be here.
All right. So, first things first, it's called the hidden empire because it refers to the realm within ourselves that often goes unnoticed or overlooked. It's the inner world of thoughts, emotions, dreams, and experiences that shape who we are. This hidden empire is not physical or tangible like a traditional empire, but rather a metaphorical representation of the vastness and complexity of our inner lives. It's like a kingdom within us, waiting to be explored and understood. So, Mental, what do you think about this concept of the hidden empire?
Well, I think it's more of the one of the more basic concepts of the different levels of ourselves. We all have a level of ourselves that we know we really can't lie to. We got a level of ourselves that we want to feel a certain way. There's a level of ourselves that is on the truth. So the hidden empire would be, I agree, because your body is so complex. It has so many different mechanisms and ways to make it work. And most of us haven't read the manual. In fact, none of us has read the manual. So we
Right.
trying to figure it out as we go.
Hmm. Absolutely. I agree with that.
So
For
I would
those,
say the empire would just be the knowledge itself. The more you know yourself, the more you know your empire.
absolutely. Jarrell, what do you think about the concept of the hidden empire?
Like I agree with mental. I feel like it's a lot of self, a lot of damn. I feel like it's a lot of self knowledge, a lot of self growth, a lot of self understanding. A lot of people say they grow, but a lot of people don't even understand themselves enough to really grow. A lot of people always say, "Oh, well, I've grown from this, I've grown from that," but a lot of that hidden stuff, you got to understand everything deeply before you can just say, "Oh, I've grown."
Hmm, I understand that. Visa, you came in a little after I had read my little introduction, but I can still ask you the question because I know you already know what it is. So, what do you think about this concept of the hidden empire,
Concept of the hidden empire.
like a kingdom within?
Oh, okay. The hidden empire. What comes to mind with that is um our internal workings, like our attributes, things that we may not be aware of that are available to us. As I spoke to mental earlier,
Mhm.
it's the same as, to me, the hidden empire would be still something still along the lines of as above, so below.
Mm.
The below would be the hidden empire that we may not actually be aware of. That's what comes to mind when I think of that.
All right, thank you so much.
Hmm.
All right, so I want to ask you, Mr. Accountability, Have you ever delved into your own inner realm?
I'm in the workings of that now. I'm trying to really dive deep into everything within myself, like why I make decisions, um, knowing the possibility of certain outcomes. Why do I allow myself to feel a certain way about things that I made a decision on, even though I knew the possible outcomes. I'm working on my own self love in a lot of ways, as you know, and as I've told before, I have a lot of self anger and a lot of self hate that I'm working on, trying to find the problems, trying to find the root of the stems of all that stuff. So I'm working at it.
All right. Mentor, I want to ask you, what was the catalyst that kickstarted you into wanting to delve more into yourself, to start looking deeper within?
Hmm. The actual, hmm, maybe I should say after I got out, right when I was getting out of the military, I got introduced to the Book of the Five Percenter, Knowledge of the Gods, and it just had a whole new language and a whole new understanding of things. And then everything became about me being a black man, where everything else was always about somebody else. I'm just getting the privilege of the knowledge of knowing about it. So it actually brought my science or the knowledge of self to me. And when I learned a little bit, I was like, oh shit, I need more of this.
Hmm. Okay. Visa?
Well, I've always been searching. Actually, ever since I was a little girl, I think we all have been to a degree. Um, but when I came more into the consciousness of it, um, I would say back in when I first when I met my first husband, my second husband, he was new age, and I was still in the church. So the things that he was telling me sparked my interest, but I wanted to know more because new age just wasn't doing it for me. It was something still not fulfilling there for me. And that was the start of just keep wanting to search about who I am, how did I get here? I really have a purpose. It just really brought things online for me to really start searching for, what I wanted to do in life. What was my abilities? What qualities did I have? What did I have to offer the world? So that was my beginnings.
Okay. I want the audience, the people who are watching, just ask yourself, like, that's because I feel like that's a really good question. What does your inner realm look like? You know what I'm saying? Like, how are you cultivating yourself? And it was a question that I know I did not send this question to you, Visa, but I
Um,
did send it to the two guys here,
uh-huh.
Mental and Mr. Accountability, and I will let them answer it first. And that question was, you know, how, what does your inner landscape look like?
My inner landscape, it's bumpy. It's if I could describe it in one word, inconsistent
Mm.
in a lot of ways. That's 100% my inner landscape. I'm not consistent with myself, and I'm working on being more consistent with everything, with what I allow, what I choose to do, what I choose to venture on in my life, what I'm actually working towards in my life. I can't say that um, I 100% know what I want for myself because I'm still learning myself. I'm learning an entirely new me in a lot of ways and trying to really focus on the energy that I put out because I know I put out a lot of energy toward people I care about and things I care about in life. I'm not putting enough into it for myself, and that's why I say that's where the inconsistency comes in because I put out everything that I want, but I don't actually push to get that for myself, and I don't even require that from other people. I allow them to do what they do, and I still tell myself I'll be okay. When in reality, I know I'm not. So for me, my inner landscape is bumpy.
Okay. Mental.
My inner landscape would be a sandy white beach.
Love it.
Kids in the background playing. You hear the voices, having fun, splashing water. I'm laying in the sun. Everyone basking in the glory of just being them. Happy, joyous,
Yeah,
smooth, calm.
I like that. Visa.
My inner landscape, it would be one of the goddess of a love, joy, peace, everything that I've always wanted, everything I always have been is far more greater than what I reflect to the outer world. It's my place of peace. It's everything. It could it like it could be the beach. It could be the mountains. It could be the desert. It's my hidden source of
Yeah.
where I create. So that is my inner kingdom, my
Okay.
inner realm.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Oh, that's right. So I when I asked myself that question, I said to myself,
Hmm.
Desiree,
Hmm.
what you think going on up inside of there? And you know, really like and the only thing that I could really correlate it to is like the vastness of me and also the smallest part of me. You know what I'm saying? So hello China. So those things, that's how I feel. So like how we see Earth, how we view Earth, there's tons of good to Earth. There are tons of things that we've done to destroy the Earth, and that's how I'm cultivated. That's how I've came into being, because there are tons of things that I've done to destroy myself. So the way that I've had to build myself back up, the way that I had to cultivate that land that I scorched, you know what I'm saying? Cuz I had to get ready for what I was going to grow into. Lush, plush gardens of shit everywhere, fountains and shit, cuz I love that shit. Oceans, trees, just tons of land to frolic in. Like, hey, it's a safe place. So I feel Visa when she said what she said. All right, so I want to know, how much of yourself would you say you have explored?
How much you have explored?
How much of yourself would you say you have explored?
Go
Even
ahead, Miss Easy.
Oh, okay. That's the way to be.
oh,
Gosh, it's so much more. So much. I haven't explored enough. Uh, I don't even know how to put that into. I can't even put that into a number.
hmm,
To be honest, not enough. We're so vast.
yeah,
We're no, not enough. Not enough for myself. Not enough in this construct.
okay, I feel that.
But I trust me. I push the boundaries as much as I can, and as much as this deprogrammed mind and its stages will allow. I will push those boundaries.
That's right.
So I can only put a number, but as much as I can, and not enough.
I feel that. I like that. Mental, how much of your self would you say you have explored?
I can't say I know enough of myself to even quantify an answer.
Yeah.
Okay, okay.
I mean, I know what I think I know, which
Mm-hmm.
is just the beginning because I know there's more. But how much more? How much more is infinite and eternal?
Hmm.
From our finite view of how we see things, me and Miss Visa was talking about this earlier. You can read something, scriptures on two different levels. You could read it as a human, or you could read it as a god or a goddess,
Hmm.
or in the spirit instead of being in the physical. Because then the meaning of it takes different it means different things now because you're looking at it in a different way.
Okay,
If that
so
makes sense.
yeah, it makes sense to me. So China said there's too many levels of inner human to even think we've covered half. LOL. And then Elizabeth said to put a finite number is hard as I'm constantly growing and discovering who I am and who I will be. Jarrell, how much of yourself would you say you have explored?
If I throw a number on it, probably
Yeah.
about 10%.
Okay.
And I say that because I feel like you. I don't ever feel like you'll be able to actually discover all of yourself, and that's only because there are so many situations that you haven't even gone through, and
Mm-hmm.
you don't know what you will do in those situations. You don't know how you'll be, what you'll say, how you'll act, like how you'll react, like how it'll affect you. You don't know these things naturally because you haven't been in certain situations to
Yeah.
know yourself in those situations.
But, hello, Angela. Hello, Chris.
I
What's
might want
popping?
to disagree with you there, Mr. Accountability. Because if
Okay.
you're doing you and you know how you should act. Well, how you should act
Right,
in a
right,
certain
yeah.
way.
You know how you
If
should
you
act, but
if you're
sometimes
being, but it's the difference is I carry me everywhere I go. I really don't change anywhere I go.
I'm not saying it's in a sense people change. I'm saying like situations. You know what? Situations change you.
I
That's
mean,
that. I'll put it like that. Situations change you because
they can,
like I,
but they
I
don't have to.
no, they don't have to, but sometimes you have to change based on the situation. Like I've been at points in my life where I've been pretty high when it comes to money wise,
Uh huh.
and I understood that the people I had around me or the people that were around me, I had to change myself because it was like, nah, I can't rock with you. And me saying I can't rock with you is me knowing me. But you have to change how you act based on your situation. Like, okay, let's say mental. Let's say you're a millionaire, right? You don't now. This is based on just you being on the podcast. I don't feel like you a real flashy dude, right? So if you're
I'm
not
not.
if you're not a flashy guy or whatnot, then you won't go around wearing all kind of jewelry, all kind of chains and
I don't.
earrings. Right? That's what I'm saying. You won't do anything like that. Some people that do that stuff, if they get robbed, it'll change them. So now they got to move differently. Now it's like, okay, I was wearing all this stuff, being all flashy. Now I got to change my whole perception on a lot of things because of what happened, of what I caused to happen.
Well, the change should be more of the lesson that they learn.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. It's
Not just
like,
that, oh, I want to be flashy and want to wear jewelry and all that. What's the
no,
lesson
no, yeah,
behind it?
yeah. The, the,
Once
the
you learn that lesson, then the change is always going to be beneficial for you. But if you're talking about learning the lesson of being flashy and you get robbed and you got to change the way you do things because you can't be flashy and get robbed, that's a different conversation.
No, that's exactly what I'm saying. I'm saying
Okay.
situations. You don't know what situation you'll be in that'll change you.
Chris said location awareness.
I mean, I feel you on that one, but I mean, not everybody chooses to use that. I'll put it like that.
Charlotte, ooh, baby, if I mess your name up, I'm
You
so
definitely
sorry,
did.
honey.
It's Sherelle.
Oh, Sherelle Moore said, I'm self-aware based on my experience this far. However, as I continue on my journey, I will learn much more of my inner self. That's real though. I feel that. Chris said you cannot be flashy and get robbed.
Okay.
Wait, hold on. You can't. Maybe
That's the
I'm
whole
hearing.
point of getting robbed, ain't it?
Maybe I'm hearing that wrong. Cause I know dudes that are flashy and have gotten robbed. Like, I may be hearing that wrong. I guess I don't know. Or understanding it wrong, maybe
You
based on what
Maybe
you're
maybe
trying
like
to
if
say.
you're not flashy, you won't get robbed or whatever.
we need more of a little more. I don't know. All right, so since Jarrell, what effort could you put forth to do better and getting to know more of your inner landscape?
Actually, stick with what I believe, and that, I guess that's where inconsistency comes in. Inconsistency comes in. I gotta stick to what I believe, even with people in my life. I have to stick to what I
What
believe
you
for myself.
believe or what you know.
Well, to me, it's the same thing in a sense. Honestly, if I
You
believe it,
can't
it's
believe
because I
and
know
know
it.
something at the same time.
No, what I'm saying is, if I believe it, it's because I already know it. That's why to
You
me it's the
can't
same thing.
listen. You're not hearing me. You can't believe and know something at the same time. Either you believe it or you know it. You can't. You can't have both.
It's tomato tomato. Look, I believe that I'm gonna make a play on the football field. I know I'm gonna make a play on the football field. It's the same thing to me.
In that instance, you are absolutely correct. But if I asked you, do you believe you have two hands?
I know I got two
Oh,
hands.
see? No, you know you have two hands. That's the difference.
I got
There's no belief in knowing that when you have two hands. You can't believe that you have two when you know you have two. You can't do the same thing. You can't. It's an impossibility. So knowing is a whole different level of consciousness when you
well
know something versus believing something. Because you can believe in something 100% and it be absolutely wrong.
when you
But when you know, it's absolutely right
when you put
because you know it.
when you put it in that sense, then I have to stick with what I know.
I,
I gotta
I'm
I
with
got
you. I just want to
I gotta
clarify for the people.
I have to trust what I know.
There you go. As you should.
I want to backtrack real quick because Chris said he was trying to say that I can be low key and still get robbed, is what he was saying. So,
Oh yeah, you definitely
yeah,
can. It's
that's what he
definitely
said.
it's always a possibility because people don't care no way. You know, if they want some money from you, they're gonna try anyway. So yeah, I
You
get it.
know, you know how you won't get robbed? You don't wear jewelry.
Well, now you can still get robbed without jewelry. Is
That's
what Chris
facts. They
saying?
could
But
try
yeah,
to take your wallet or your. What I'm just saying, a stick up kid is gonna really just get you for your jewelry, get you for
Or
what you
you
got.
learn martial arts and kick they motherfucking ass. I don't care.
I've
Like,
never been robbed.
all right, mental. What effort do you put forth to better get to know your landscape? How do you walk through that?
I try to walk in the spirit,
Mm-hmm.
live this whole life as a magical life, like when I was a kid, making things happen from my mind. So I'm not seeing the world like everybody else is seeing it. I'm not even reacting to it like everybody else reacting to how they react to it. Because it really doesn't matter. It's my inner projection on this world that matters, not the projection on this world to me.
Hmm. Okay, okay. What type of things do you do to keep that awareness up? Like how do you cultivate that type of awareness? How do you kickstart getting your subconscious thoughts to bleed into your consciousness?
First thing you got to do is you got to deny the physical. You got to deny what looks good, feels good, tastes good, smells good, sounds good. You got to start fasting. You got to start breaking away from everything that you like. And you're only doing it to show yourself that you really didn't like any of that stuff anyway. You didn't need any of that stuff because at your core, you're unconditioned, meaning you don't have any conditions on you. And that's what we got to get back to our central energy, the power that's in us before we came down into duality, the opposites, male, female, you know, sun, moon, all that. Those are all parameters in this realm. Once you get
So
past the thought process, you can go to thinking on a higher level in that spirit realm where it's a whole different thought process because you're not concerned with the things that we're concerned with.
so what's the purpose of the flesh if we're not supposed to do nothing with it?
No one said you ain't supposed to do nothing to it with it. What you're supposed to do is overcome it. The flesh is the devil. That's the Lucifer. That's the Satan. Why? Because it wants. It wants the most food. It wants all to eat all the time. It wants all the drugs. It wants all the money. It wants all the cars. It wants all the houses. The inner you that runs through this meat body doesn't need any of that. So therefore, you have this constant struggle within. So the more you can meditate and you can restrain, that's why the Muslims do a fast, a sun up to sundown. If you can stop eating food for a higher purpose, this is what we're talking about. It's a training mechanism. So if you can give up food, when do we eat food? During the day. You give it up all through the day, and when the sun goes down, you can eat whatever, you can do your thing. But when the sun goes up, you can't eat for 30 days. With the end of those 30 days, if you do that fast, you will be a different person. I don't give a damn who you are. Okay?
Elizabeth said, for me, it's getting back to the basics, rediscovering small joys, and finding ways to learn new things. I feel that.
They
Visa?
got to be healthy, constructive. They got to get you to where you're going at to get to your goal.
Yeah.
If they're not, then what are we doing? Most of the stuff we do don't got nothing to do with us getting to our goal. Nothing.
That's my favorite question. What am I doing? Ha! That's my
Right.
favorite question.
What are we doing?
Yeah. What we doing here? What we doing? Because especially if it don't make sense, that's the first question I'm gonna ask myself. Like, what we doing? this ain't mathing.
But we got to be real with ourselves to be like, all right, well, I know nobody else know, but I know. What am I doing?
Yeah.
How am I changing things? Am I getting better or am I getting worse?
Yeah, I agree with that. You ain't wrong. Visa, what effort are you putting forth to do better? But getting to know your inner landscape.
More time in meditation. Spending more time with myself and trusting my intuition, my discernment, believing in myself more, quieting that monkey brain that want to tell me what I can't do, what that all those past traumas or things that will sometimes infiltrate us and tell us, have us doubting ourselves or what we want to do in life. I'm really just enjoying, getting to know myself. Still back to that, just getting to know myself, and I really do enjoy meditation. That time alone, you really get to know a lot about you, about your environment, about the people you work with. It's all about self-care for me at this point.
You do get a lot of answers in meditation.
Absolutely. I agree with that. But I want to ask y'all this because I feel like everybody meditates different ways, right? So for me, I usually try to focus on one thought, and then I try to be aware of the intrusive thoughts that are trying to invade that one thought I'm focusing on. How do y'all meditate?
Give it something to do. Give it something to do. Give it something to do. It's the ego. You really can't quiet it. It's like okay, your inner world. That's your environment. When you meditate, that's your world. Say you have something that keeps bothering. Tell that thought or whatever. You can go play. You can go play in the sandbox.
Well, like the thoughts that be coming in my head, they don't be like
Say that. Say that to yourself.
But
those
I
are stupid thoughts.
understand. I get what you're saying. Like, but for me, them thoughts be kind of like because of like, let's say I'm sitting down and I'll be thinking like, oh, this, and I'll be like, oh, look at my eye. But I'm supposed to be thinking simply about what I'm supposed to be thinking about. So I'm looking like, okay, you get distracted with real small things. Let's work this out. How long can you focus on one thought at a time?
Oh,
and
you're thinking.
I had to get
overthinking.
Yeah.
You're thinking, overthinking. Yes, but meditation will have to be. But then you need to like explore different ways to meditate that works for you. You can meditate the music. You don't have to meditate with your eyes closed. You can meditate, zone out while you looking at something. You don't have to sit there and be like, I'm just going to focus on this one thought and your eyes are closed. No, you don't have to do that. Free
Fact.
yourself from being stuck to that
Meditation
mindset. That's what
starts.
meditation is.
Meditation starts with breath control. Breath
Yeah.
is the spirit. By manipulating the breath, you manipulate the spirit within you. You increase its capacity. If you got my book, go to the back of the book when I talk about breath control. I break
Oh, yeah.
down the different states. We normally breathe at 18 breaths per second. 18. That's the breath of the beast. 666. Why? Because it's a breath that allows us to be emotionally controlled. It allows the outside world to influence us the most. Then at 9 becomes a great breath when we read and want to remember things. It's almost a cheat code if you're in college. You'll remember everything you read. Then you can go down to 6, where you get in the spiritual realm, where 6 breaths per second, 1 breath every 10 seconds. It can be done and can be done easily. It's all the focus of the mind.
Yeah.
Okay, once you get
And
in those states in the breath, your mind automatically comes into alignment with what's going on at the different states of consciousness.
I got
That,
you.
Yeah, you can.
that's one technique you could do.
Yeah, you
And
can
that's in my
listen.
book, Overstanding Darkness, when I talk about the different mind states and the consciousness and how you affect your spirit.
Yeah, you can listen to yourself breathing. That's
Yes.
one section. Yep.
Yep.
Focus on
Yes,
your
but
breathing.
okay. So what I'm asking, woo, so how do you all meditate? So you meditate the way that you have it in your book, correct?
I meditate many different ways.
Okay.
When I actually close my eyes to meditate, I do a power meditation through restrained breathing. I restrict the oxygen or the energy out of the air to oxygenate my body, meaning I fill my body with oxygen. So I start with the fan on in my meditative position. When I end, I'm in a full sweat.
Okay. Visa,
So I
how do
use the different things as the chakras, the words of power, the different colors of the chakras: red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, purple. Each of those, I match it with a mantra, a word of power, and I give it a breath.
Hmm.
So I try to charge each organ. So that's what keeps me young, keeps me looking young anyway.
absolutely, because you definitely look good.
But
Visa, how do
that
you
is in, thank you, that is in the Nedu Netter, the Metu
Oh,
Netter. That's in
yeah.
the back of that book. It shows you every breathing technique. It shows you the how the 7 chakras work with the 7 notes in the on the music scale. It breaks it all down. All this, everything I be talking to y'all about is stuff that I have learned that the spirit took it to the next level, the spirit of truth, and broke it down to me to a level where I can regurgitate it now and break it down to you.
Absolutely.
So it's those steps we take towards the spirit. You take a step towards the spirit, it take 2 steps towards you. It's that information download, which
And
we
it,
all do.
yeah, and she said meditation is personal. You have to find what works for you. So, Visa, how do you how do you meditate? What's meditation look like for you?
I meditate mostly to music,
Mm-hmm.
um, or while I'm doing a chore. I'm cleaning. I do have meditation where I'm laying down and or sitting on doing my divination or whatever. I go into meditation where I'm just quiet
Yeah.
and just focusing on what it is I want to know, or what I feel, what direction I want to go in. But a lot of times I'm doing it to music. I got music on, and that is a distraction for me, and then my spirit can go in the direction that it need to. I even meditate in the shower. I love to use water. So especially if I'm in the shower or I'm doing dishes, you get so many messages, so much information in the shower and while you cleaning.
Yeah.
You go
That's
into that trance state,
meditating. Yeah.
that
I
trance state.
Yep, and it just takes you right out. And that's what I do. I do light trance. So that's my way that I meditate.
I like that. That's what's up. Jarrell, what's meditation look like for you?
I couldn't tell you. I can't say that I do meditate, honestly. Like
Okay.
I just go about the days. I can't say I meditate.
When you space out, you meditate. When you pray, you meditate. When you concentrate hard, that's meditation. It's not what you think it is.
Oh
It's
well,
only
man.
when you go into your inner you and you in there thinking about your football days and what could have been. That's meditation.
Oh, in that
Seeing
sense,
yourself
yeah.
play, seeing yourself do it. That's meditation.
In that sense, yeah. The only thing I don't do is I don't pray, but everything else, yeah, I got you. 100%.
That's
So we
what
all do it. We just got to recognize what we're doing and the energy that's in it.
Mm-hmm. I agree with
We
that.
zone out. We go into those small trance states. Those are meditation states.
Yeah. You gotta be aware. To
Shoot.
go back.
In fact, a prayer ain't nothing but a magic spell because you're asking something immaterial in you or outside of you to make something happen material. That's the same thing you do in magic. Take thoughts to make it material so something happen. Same thing. Same thing to
Sherelle
the way.
says she don't think spacing out is meditation. And hey, Latanya.
Well, tell me what it is. You're not in the physical realm. You may be there. You may be in the middle of class, the teacher talking, someone talking to you, but you're gone. You don't hear none of it. Where are you then? If you ain't spacing out, if that's not a form of meditation, that's what meditation is. Taking you away from the physical stimuli. What looks good, feels good, tastes good, sounds good, smells good.
So while she answers, I don't know, she'll probably answer. I know they got to type. Oh, she said meditation is intentional and has purpose.
Sometimes.
When wouldn't it be intentional and not have purpose? When we spacing
Well,
out?
when you're, if you're, what are we spacing out to? Are we spacing out to you with a Prince Charming, having sex, don't make no sense type stuff? Or are we spacing out to you reading a book, getting this knowledge, getting something or happening, something positive happening for you?
I think
You
we
see what I'm
space
saying?
out.
It
They said,
depends on your intention of the meditation. When you meditate and there's no intention, meaning you're meditating accidentally, you're spacing out, you're praying, you're doing something that really has no power behind it, then yes and no, it could have an effect or it couldn't,
daydreaming.
because it
Yeah.
depends on your level of power in you. Because you can use a Lord of Light, say Yahshua or Jesus, and use everything about Jesus. Oh, Jesus, can you believe in, and things can happen for you. But you can use Muhammad the same way. You can use Buddha the same way. You can use any of them for it to happen. The issue is they're only happening because of the power in you. It has nothing to do with the person. Nothing. It's energy. It's not people. And we've letting someone come and read our spiritual manuals, the Gnostics or gnosis, meaning to know, turned around and made Bibles out of it. Took out the book of knowledge, which is probably the most vital one you need. Took out the Maccabees, took out the Urantia book, took out the tablets of sin, took out the tablets of light, took out all these other scriptures, gave you what they wanted to give you, and now rule the world with it. And if someone talks against it, I dare you say that this Jesus ain't the way, or Allah ain't the way, or Buddha ain't the way, or whoever ain't the way. I dare you.
they're gonna
Belief.
active on your ass real quick. Anyway, Elizabeth said thoughts become actions, actions become physical, and Derek said meditation is a conscious effort. So, all right. So I want to ask you guys, like, what do you guys think is one of the best aspects of yourself?
Repeat the question?
What is the best aspect of yourself? What is the best thing about you?
My care, the way I care.
Now
Your
let me
love.
ask you something, because hold on, because a lot of people have told me this. And why is your care the best aspect about you?
For me, I would say because I know when I do care, I'm putting my all into it. I don't play around when it comes to like what I care about, who I care about. I know I'm putting my all into it, and I know for a fact I have no doubt in my mind what I'm gonna do, what I want to do, how I want to do it with anything when it comes to me caring.
I want to ask, like, why is it when somebody asks y'all something about yourselves, y'all always correlate it to something that don't got nothing to do with y'all?
I mean, outside of, I mean, if I'm speaking on just like in a sense layman's terms, what I think the best thing about me, my sense of humor. I mean, other than that,
Who is your sense of humor for? What does that do for you?
shit, I like jokes.
Why?
I mean, so then you confuse me on the question then.
Am I?
Because if you
But
ask me, if
think
you ask me,
about you,
if you ask me,
yourself.
okay, the best thing about me is
Everything you name it, I feel like that got everything to do with everybody else, because that's how you appease to everybody else. So I'm
okay. So
asking you, what's the
you got,
best thing about you?
I'm good at football.
Mm.
That's for
Football
me.
is something you do. It's not really an attribute of you. What about you? Not your job, not a sport, not
You.
your car. You.
You can go on to the next person then.
Damn, come on, man.
Go on. I'm
Nothing.
actually I'm lost on the question because anything I
No,
name,
you
technically
answered it the
speaking,
first time correctly. The way you care, meaning you have the ability to care and love. That's what I got out of that.
but when I said that, it
But
still was.
he said when he described it, it had everything to do with everybody else. It had nothing to do
Oh,
with him.
oh, my bad. I missed that part.
Well, then, like I said, in that sense, hey, you got to go on to the next person because for me,
Everything correlates to others. Mm, I don't think so. Your worth is it's self worth. What Lil Wayne said is self esteem for a reason. Self esteem. You build it
Oh,
up. You break
can
it
I
down.
can I say one thing? So, for the ones that have a issue with what we said about meditation, let me quickly break it down. You have two types of meditation. You have a meditation when you are awake and a meditation when you are semi sleep but not sleep. That's when you close your eyes. So you have a focused being awake. I'm up, I'm watching the environment. I have a unfocused being awake. I'm daydreaming. The environment is going around, but I can't really, I'm not there because I'm daydreaming. And you have the realms in between. You have meditation when you're unfocused on the outside environment but focused on the inside environment but not sleeping, and you have a total unfocused on the inside environment and the outside, meaning your sleep and the different realms in between there. So you can meditate on both realms. One is more of a purposeful meditation because you're going into something to try to get something. The other meditation, or the daydream, or the when you space out, you're still meditating. You're still going into a realm inside yourself. It's just an unfocused. There's no focus to it. Just to clear that up, because I was reading the comments. I was trying to make sure they understand. There's different ways. There's an
I don't think
awakeness
that
and an unawakeness. But go ahead.
they said that he said daydreaming is not meditation because you might as well say sleeping is meditation. Meditation is focused. Okay.
You are in a daydream. You are focused. But it's not a focus on one thing. You're daydreaming about one type of thing. It could be a girl in high school and you're just wow, and you can see her walking back in high school like she did before. And this could be 10 years later. It's still a meditation, but it doesn't really mean anything. You understand where when you go into meditate and you close your eyes and you focus on the sun or you focus on the color purple and a mantra and da 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 da, it's just a focused meditation on something. The only thing that's different is one you're actually focused on, one it's more of an unfocused. You can be unfocused and still see this realm and the spirit realm at the same time. You can
Jarrell,
be in two places.
everybody understand that? Y'all get that, Visa, Jarrell?
Like I said, I'm new to meditation, so if he say
It's a form
daydreaming
of
or whatnot, then I guess I meditate. But do I actually sit and take the time out to really do other types of meditation? No.
Visa, you got another way to explain it to help people understand what he's trying to say?
No, I understand what he's saying, but it's about like the guy was saying. It's with meditation and being able to get you meditating because you're trying you have a process you want to get through, whether it's knowing yourself, talk to your ancestors, whatever the case may be. You're meditating, you're not really focused. Look, for me, through music, I'm not focused on the music. I'm not focused. It's just a distraction for me to be who I am, for me to connect with my higher self. I'm this what we're looking at is it's a body. It's the meat suit. It's not who we really are. So when you're talking about our best aspects and attributes of ourselves, that's the human part of us, yeah. But the spirit, it doesn't matter, like Mental said, in the whole scheme of things. Even if I could say the best thing about me is that attribute.
Oh, that's tough. See, that's tough.
It's a human thing. If you're not really used to thinking about, I'm a damn good therapist, or I'm a loving, very loving, I'm a caregiver type of into energy. I could say that type of thing, but on a spiritual level, my spirit is like, what the fuck are you talking about? What are you doing?
My thing is this, and I understand what
you're
all
right.
of you
It's so
are
hard to
saying.
explain.
My thing is, for me, my best me, myself, a thing that helps me cultivate me is self-development. My ability to self-develop is a great thing, and it keeps me in tune with my human side. It keeps me in tune with my spiritual side, where you guys might forego your human experiences or whatever. I don't know what y'all be trying to say when y'all be saying that. I don't be too sure.
We
But for
don't
me,
forego
it's a hold
them.
on, hold on. Because for me, it's a thing of I can never forget the things that helped me get to where I am now. I always reference my mom. I always reference everything that has happened to me up until a certain point, because everything that I've been through has cultivated my spiritual connection. That's
Okay,
just period.
I got
I'll
you on
never
that.
forget how I was made. The human side of me is just as cultivated as the spiritual side of me.
Okay.
Because y'all always tell me so above, so below, so within, so without. How you don't know the other part?
That's not what they're saying. That's not what that's
That is
saying.
the same thing.
No, let me tell
In
you.
all sense, that applies.
Let me
If
explain.
it's
Let me
truth and it
explain.
apply one way, it apply always.
Let me explain something. Let me explain something. And I thank God for this master teacher, Brother Panic. I had direct conversations from that God. And trust me, your humanity don't mean shit in the scheme of things. You can try to, I don't care. You are to dismiss. We talked about this earlier, didn't we, Mental? That side of you, I don't care. You can hold on to your humanity all you want to. Hold on to your mom, hold on to your cousin, hold on to your kids, hold on to whatever life has given you. What matters is what matters is what matters is who you are overall, your spirit, or how you cultivating that. You want to say, well, I gotta make sure I'm able to get up to go to work every day so I can pay my bills. I have to be stable. I
That's
have
what you
to
do
be
though,
able
right?
to be
You
accountable.
get up
Listen,
every day, you
I
pay
have
your
to
bills.
listen. I have to be able to be accountable for who I am so that I can do the things, so I can be a balanced person. But in the grand scheme of things, when you would say as above, so below, we're talking about you and as a spiritual aspect. I really not really your humanity. Your humanity is just a small fraction of who you are. When you're able to let that go, you'll see yourself in a total different level. You see
I
all the
could
things
see
that you're concerned
myself at
about,
a
your
totally different
manifestations,
level with it.
how you can manifest, how you can do all these things will be online so quickly. Like if you say, you know what, like we did with Darian. Darian said, I wanted this car. He said, okay, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna take this toy car and put it on my altar. He had a car like within 2 days. This is not like what we're talking about here. When you really want to know thyself, this is the as above, so below. Not your spirit, your soul source interacting with your spirit, not even interacting with your humanity, because that's going to take care of itself. You are in
Well,
your one body. In your DNA are all your ancestors. Everything you have that you want to know is available to you. We talked about that earlier as being the all gifted. Everything you ever wanted, desired is available to you. Meditation is just a vehicle, a tool for you to use to tap in.
So
that's
you
it.
saying that you don't gotta know who you are. That's what you're saying.
No, I'm not saying you don't have to know who you are.
Okay, because that's
Knowing
all
who
I'm
you
saying.
are
That is what
doesn't
I'm
mean you
saying.
have to get to know the meat suit
I'm
that
not
you're in.
saying, all I'm saying is when y'all be talking about what y'all talking about, it sounds as if you are telling us that the human part of us is not essential. But then you tell me that you get up every single day and you go to work and you do blah 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 to make sure that you could do X, Y, and Z. Even though it is a small fraction of something, you still play your role every single day. So no, we have to be aware of all of us, the whole being at all times. And you guys
Well,
say
no,
that all the time.
I think it's more of
Understanding.
when you're in the spirit like it, those small mundane things of getting up, making money, that kind of takes care of itself. You're kind of on autopilot with that type stuff. What
Yeah,
we try to do is live our life as a higher, as thinking as a spiritual being, thinking as a god, thinking as a goddess, trying to leave humanity in the meat suit alone and not think in that realm that we are human, that this is us. Because we know that we can see without these eyes, we can
But
hear
you,
without these ears, we can
but
taste without this tongue. So we're going back to our essential us,
okay,
the
but you
hidden
agree that
us
you
that
can.
doesn't need the physical body at all. No, but I
So
understand what you're saying is yes, you still need to be in touch with yourself because without
okay,
you
the meat
do.
suit, you
You
can't
do.
communicate with nobody down here. If your meat suit ain't right, yes, you're gonna have problems. Absolutely. So
okay,
I hear what you're saying, and I'm not discounting that.
Right,
We're just
right.
saying we try to take it to another level where we're trying to be like, okay, my meat suit is good. I'm not worried about that. I'm
Okay.
trying to get into this other spiritual level higher and higher so these downloads can come so I can know the things I need to know. So when I talk to someone, I can give them the real me.
Okay. Let me put it from this way, Des, and maybe that'll be better. When I'm doing a reading for somebody, a spiritual consult, and I do a reading where I do a spiritual reading mixed with therapy, right? So I try to see if they have a mental health issue that's impeding them, or is it something spiritual going on, because they do work together. If a person is run down and overburdened with stress because of jobs, issues in their marriage, health issues, things like that, of course it causes problems for them. But it's in the spirit where the problems are being that there is the problems can be resolved. It's in the spirit where you can actually have the advantage to ease those things. But when those areas, if you're stuck in that lower realm of humanity, with, and when I'm saying lower realm, I just mean that you, if you're stuck in your humanity, your mundane, your day-to-day life, you
Your
can't.
emotions,
That's
your
part of the,
feelings.
that's part of the matrix trying to keep you in a position to stay a battery, because you're
But
going through
even
this
if you
cycle.
stuck in your emotions or anything like that, that still manifests from this. It manifests in different ways. It manifests physically. It
Just
manifests spiritually. So the saying,
because
so within, so without, would still apply.
but that's the mind. But that's the mind. You have to separate the mind from the spirit, because if you tell
But
yourself
I'm just
something,
saying, it's
you tell
still
yourself
affected.
something, if you tell yourself something enough times, it's going to be true. That's self-fulfilling prophecies. If you always prophecies, if you feel like,
Repetition.
yeah, and it's repetition too. How you reprogram the mind? Repetition, symbols, and trauma.
How do
That
you
is the
meet a
day-to-day.
person where they are at?
How do you what?
How do you meet a person where they're at?
We do it every day. I do it. I definitely do it in what I do every day. When somebody comes in to talk to me and they're like, okay, this is what's going on in their lives. How can they get better? What tools do I have to improve this? Always incorporate with that person where they at. If Mr. Accountability says, you know what, I don't meditate. I'm good at football. He told me that. Oh, you shouldn't have told me that. I'm going to use that, Mr. Accountability. I'm going to be like, okay, what position did you play? What position you play, Mr. Accountability?
Pretty much everything, but receiver.
Okay, you played receiver. Did you go to college? Did you go on?
Yeah,
What college did you go to? If you don't mind me
Indiana.
asking.
Indiana.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? I got a son. My son, he's 21. He plays at University of Central Arkansas. He's a wide receiver out there. So I've been a football mom for a long time. So
That's what's
when you're
up.
playing football and you're doing things like that, by the way, he's 6'6". Big boy was the smallest thing in the house. But I'm telling you,
Very
when
handsome.
you're playing football and you feeling good about yourself, that puts you in a good spot, right? You feel good about that.
Yeah.
So I would say, if I would for you, when I'm working with you and meeting where you at, I would use that football to the 10. I would milk it for all it's worth,
Facts.
because you be putting that into
Facts.
yourself, which actually I'm not speaking to you, I'm speaking to your spirit, because I know what really brings you joy. So that was why you meet somebody where they're at. Whatever they're in, Miss Des, you're a poet. Oh God, I'm gonna feed that energy till it's busting, because that's what brings you joy. That will makes you happy. That's a meeting you where a person is at, and helping them build on those attributes or those things that they feel they're good at, because whatever they're good at, that's where I found their purpose, and it takes them higher and higher and higher.
Their comfort zone.
Right.
Okay, so what if I told you football is my high place and my low place? Because football brought me high and it also brought me down because of the
Yeah.
fact that I wanted something so much that I pushed myself so much for
Hmm.
football.
Yeah, but that's the thing too. That where was your focus? What was your goal? The thing is your goal was supposed to be in place. If your goal was, hey, I want to make it to the NFL, that's my goal. Okay, well, what did you do to make it to that point? And then that's what we would focus on. What you was pushing yourself, or what you didn't do. I said, well, let's address what you feel like you didn't do, or what you didn't achieve. And then that'll be easy to just get rid of, because it's not serving you. So I said, well, that don't serve you anymore. You moved on to something else, right? And you're like, yeah, I don't do that anymore. Okay, so let's focus on the goal. If that's no longer the goal, well, let's make a new one. And that's how I'll be done with that. Listen, a lot of healing don't have to be drawn out, Mr. Accountability. It can be done just like that.
Facts. Talk to him, Miss Visa. Talk to
Oh
him.
no, okay. So you, Dez, and mental, y'all are spiritual. Me, I class myself as mental, and
You're
Dez,
spiritual too, but go ahead.
I can answer your question now. Based on what you answered, I can answer it now. So
Okay.
for me, my greatest attribute is my mental toughness.
All
Your
right.
mental, your what?
My
Mental
mental
toughness.
toughness.
Okay, okay.
That's my greatest attribute. I can't say that for
Facts.
sure.
I like that.
Facts.
Absolutely.
But for me, I feel like people are born innately knowing certain things. You just choose whether or not
Facts.
to you choose whether or not to use it. I feel like I'm born innately knowing that if I want to change something, I can change it in a second if I want to. But if I don't want to, then it's not gonna happen. People people say they want to change this and change that and do this and do that. If you really don't want to do it, you're not gonna do it. I know it doesn't take long to change anything you want to actually change. You put your
Believe it
mind
or
to it.
not, that's a gift, Mr. Accountability.
Yeah.
You
When I was in the military, this was back when I was like 18, 19, they used to always have cigarette breaks. Mind you, I didn't smoke, but they had cigarette breaks every goddamn hour. Gone. So we ain't got to go long to know what started happening. Well, shit, let me buy me a pack of cigarettes. Let me start smoking with them. I wouldn't even smoke. I give it out, take a few puffs just to make sure. Yeah, he didn't smoke the cigarette. I seen smoke come out of his mouth. Get my break. So when we was getting out the military, me and my homeboy, we went in together at the split option. Jazzy's cousin. We went in the split. So when we got out, I was like, well, ain't no need to smoke no more. There ain't no breaks coming with it. He was like, man, you a smoker now. You gonna be smoking. And I never picked up another cigarette. And that always bothered him. Not bothered him, but he was like, how the hell do you do that? How do you just say you're not gonna do something and don't do it? I said, bro, once I change my mind, my body has no choice but to follow.
Absolutely.
Think about it.
Yeah, no, I know.
Everything starts with a change of mind.
That's
Even
what I
with you,
said.
it starts with a change of mind. As soon as you start saying, Mr. Accountability, I'm not feeling sorry myself for the goddamn football injury, you know something? Instead, I'm going to be happy that it gave me what I had. And now I can move on to be even better than what I would have been, even if I made it to the NBA or NFL and made it to the Hall of Fame and had a whole career in football. Sometimes that's just not what we're here for. In fact, most times that's not what we're here for. You have a bigger plan, a bigger journey. Have you seen what's the name? Lost in the Multiverse. What's the dude's name?
Miles Morales.
No, the not
Ant-Man.
that one. The one with
Ant-Man.
not the one with Ant-Man, but the other one, the magic dude.
Oh, Doctor Strange.
Doctor Strange.
Doctor Strange.
Got you.
And he just went through all these different realities of himself. Oh, yes, you can heal your hands if you want to. You can go back to being a doctor. And the lady that's seen in the darkness said, and you'll be all so much worse. The world would be all so much worse because of it. Because that's not where you're supposed to be. You got to accept your journey on what's going on in your life. You have to accept it. It's going to happen. You can either fight the current and blame yourself and be mad, or you can ride the wave, surf this thing on out. It's up to you. Real talk. But all the power's in you. I think you know it's in you. You just got to make your mind up. Be like, okay, let me stop all this bullshit and just get right. Whatever that may curtail.
Yeah, and that's exactly what it is. Like I tell myself, yeah, to rather stop bullshitting. Like I've always been well known. I hold myself very accountable for everything I do. Everything in my life, I hold myself accountable for everything. People ask me about past relationships. I can tell you what I did wrong, but I can't tell you nothing else. I can tell you where I messed up or where I made my mistakes or where I felt like I could have grown, but I can't tell you nothing else. Well, what did this person do? I don't know. I can tell you what I did. Like, best I could do for you.
And the lesson of that is you ain't judging nobody but yourself. That's the ultimate judge. You should only judge yourself in any situation. It don't matter what no one else did. It's how you reacted that counted. That's a higher evolution or a higher thought when you think like that. That's a good way to think.
That's very good insight. That's very good insight about yourself.
Facts.
And then
That's
just build
how
on that. Build on that. If I were you, I'd just build on that. You know, you got a strong mind. That means to me, that's a strong will. You know how to push forward in things, what you want. You set your mind to it. I'm going to do it. Build on that.
Now I really know how to help you. Now I could really meet you where you at. Because everything else, like Mental and Visa was saying, it's a facade. That ain't really you. Because what Mental said, the real you is unconditioned. How we get back there, how we put that much back into ourselves. It's a whole lot of shit that you gotta pull up out yourself first. Cause what is it? You've been conditioned, you've been programmed, and you don't even know it. You don't
You
even
gotta
know how far your
learn,
insecurities done went.
unlearn, and
Exactly.
relearn. It
And
don't
that's
matter
what
what we know anymore. Now it's about learning, unlearning, and relearning the right
Mhm.
way, because there's so much crap out there now. But the good thing of it is the spirit of truth is activated in each of us. All you got to do is go see it. It's in you. Go check him out. Her
y'all
out.
gotta tell the truth first. Fuck that. Oh, y'all be
See?
lying.
But
Get your
that's
lying ass.
not my issue.
Yeah.
If you lie to yourself, you're not gonna have access to the spirit of truth. How can you if you're lying to yourself?
Well, I want to thank y'all for coming on and chopping it up with me. Y'all have any last words? Visa, would you got any last words or anything you like to say?
Trust your discernment. Trust your intuition as you get to know thyself. That's going to deepen your meditations or your daydreams, Mr. Accountability. That's it.
Mental. Teresa.
Gather life and love into yourself. And when you've gathered enough of it, the attributes of just you being around people will be self-evident.
Absolutely. Jarrell?
I would say just sit with yourself. Sit with yourself. Think about your actions. Think about everything you've done up to this point, and just ask yourself, would you do the same things again? If not,
Self-reflection.
if not,
Yeah.
then go forward, doing better.
Mr. Accountability got me tripping because why is he doing work and don't know he's doing work? Like,
Ain't that something? Ain't that something?
it's like it's so funny. Jazz do the same damn thing, you know. It's
He
funny.
doing the work and don't even know he doing the work.
You don't even know he's doing the work. He'll get it.
He'll
Like I
catch
said,
up to him. Yup, I was just gonna say that he'll catch up to himself.
like I said, I'm working it a lot, and I'm proud of myself for doing what I'm doing. I've always been a mentally intelligent person as far as for my own life. I just choose whether or not to do something or not. That's all. Like I know my choices are my choices. Like I innately know if I choose to take a left instead of a right, I made that left. I mean, I ain't mad at nobody else. I'm mad at myself because it's like you knew better, but you did it anyway. Okay, so now next step, next time, do what you need to do.
You see how spirit
That's what
just
it
showed
is.
up for me? Mental, what we talked about earlier, how I said I like when someone tells the truth about themselves, what they're
Uh-huh.
good at, and own it. And because I
And
love
own it.
that.
And
Mr.
own
Campbell,
it.
that's my shit right there. When you say I know what I am and how that's it. I love that. I love when a person can stand on who they are and be proud of it.
I don't care what
You
anybody
ain't
said.
humbling
It was
yourself.
on me.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about. I love that. I love when a person say, "This is who I am," and I know this about me. That's when you build it. Listen, you should be journaling, setting goals, all of these things, the human things that help you to know yourself on a spiritual level. You should
Facts.
be doing all of that.
Yeah, I've set some goals. Last week I started a full, I guess you could say, uh, whole body transformation. I've been eating nothing but better foods, a lot of fruits, a lot of clean vegetables. I've been eating just like way better for my body.
There you go.
I haven't had any caffeine, no pop, no coffee, no nothing. Just straight water and Pedialyte. I just been taking that stuff down like every day, all day.
That's good.
Right. Look, keep, like Miss Visa said, keep doing the thing. You already talking to yourself. You already doing the work, believe it or not. You're doing shadow work. We just want you to be conscious of what you're doing so you can get the extra bonus that comes with it. See, a lot of us do shit we walk a path. We know there's a path. We're walking it. But we not really walking the path to be on the path. We just really following the footsteps of someone in front of us. But we know it's a good way to go. You got to know you on the path. You got to know you supposed to be on the path. You got to walk with a clear. You in hell walking with gasoline draws on, and wish your fire would come around you. It's the mentality. You already know who you are. We know we not these meat suits. Let's go back to who we really are.
And
Let's
then
use
that's when
that
you
energy.
start seeing everything. You'll be like, damn,
Yes.
somebody just gave me $5,000 out of nowhere? Damn, did I just get that call out of nowhere? And like, your life would just start working out. It's
Damn,
like,
my cousin just gave me this car. I didn't even want the car.
yeah. Man, did she did that?
Shit just fall out. But this is when you're living this magical world. Why is it magical? Because it's a world in you that you're making happen. Because in my realm, death, killing, misery, hunger, none of that exists. So if you come around me, all of that stuff is automatically going to be off the table as far as the spirit and the essence that I'm casting out. My light says, no, sir. It's either going to do one or two things to you. It's going to irritate the hell out of you, or you're going to like it.
And that's the opening with what Desi said in the beginning when she asked us, what does your inner world look like? Your inner world shouldn't be bumpy. It's going to be what you make it. It's going to be everything you make it. If I were you, your imagination will begin there. I would imagine the luxurious, whatever the hell you feel like you want in your life, you deserve, you want, let it be so, because you have the will to do so. You have your birthright is you have it to do so.
Oh no, yeah, I agree.
So but once you know that, not believe it, once you know that, because you got to know that you deserve, you got to know that you are, you got to know that you are from the heavens, you got to know that you are a God source, you got to know that.
Yeah, I agree. Even in the beginning when I answered that, I know why it's bumpy. Like I said, I used the word inconsistent. Too much inconsistency. I do the same thing a lot of other people do. I use excuses and call them reasons. That's all. I know where I'm making my mistakes at.
Well, you know what? You identified your demon, right? Inconsistency. It's a spirit. Speak to it. Say, you know what? You don't belong here. I don't need you in my life.
I electrocute them. I burn them up.
Yeah,
I
do
tell
all
you
that.
to leave. You don't want to leave. I electrocute you. Every time I see you, you get another joke. They won't come back. Trust me.
Drown in anything. You see inconsistency, drown it. See it drowning in your mind.
Drown it.
That's the work.
Gone.
Well, thank y'all so much for the insight and the knowledge. I appreciate it. I want to read what Elizabeth says. She said, cultivate the garden of your soul, pull the weeds, plant the seeds, harvest the fruit. And I most certainly agree with that.
Yeah.
I want to end with this. I want to challenge you to tell me who you are and then stand on it. Because that is the only way you will be able to enter your inner kingdom. You have to walk like you say you walk. And also, it go back to my first podcast that I ever did. Who told you was naked in the first place? You wonder why yourself don't recognize you. You wonder why you can't see yourself. You closing too many thoughts. And it's probably the negative thoughts that you done already put on yourself. And you at this door and yourself like, bitch, I don't know who the fuck you is. You is not getting up in here. You want access? Show me you want access. Take it off. Thank you so much for tuning into the Immersive Experience. Again, you can find us at the _Immersive Experience, and also on YouTube at the Immersive Experience. Okay, you feeling mental. Thank you so much. You all have a great night.
All right, y'all.
Right.